Welcome back to In the Demon Grass episode session
Hello.
24. I said
Yes.
it like 10 seconds ago and I've already forgotten.
Session 24.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We are 20.
Luckily for now, we have everybody here, but Althemia may have to jump out here in a little bit. So just a quick recap. The party made it to Novell, made it inside, saved Wade on the outside. Before doing so, talked to the guards. Guards told the party where Urzahan was, which Phelan was quite interested to hear. Phelan made a beeline to Urzahan in the Broken Compass, the local tavern. Then the rest of the party did a little bit of shopping, and were told that they really should speak with Elsbeth, the mayor of the town, as Naya had mentioned saving Wade and had apparently offered her services or
I'm
said
open
what she
to the
could do.
possibility. Yeah.
So since Ellie may have to dip out, we're going to go ahead and jump to her if everyone doesn't mind. Is that good with everybody?
Go for it.
Yep.
Get the Urzahan meeting done.
So Phelan, you were with the party. You got through the front gate. They mentioned where Urzahan was, that he was at the Broken Compass Tavern, which was just down the main street. This city has been pretty much completely rebuilt recently. All the buildings look relatively clean and new. There's not, a lot of weathering and everything. The ground appears to be very man made, lots of stone and dirt and things like that. The reason being, the area around this city every night seems to have a mist that comes up and it does bad things. So they had to literally rebuild the entire town up some. So all the buildings look relatively new as far as that goes. There aren't many that are made of stone or have stone. The Broken Compass is one of them that does. It has a nice foundation in it. So, Phelan, you beelined to the Broken Compass Tavern, and just inside, sitting at a counter near the bar part of this tavern, you see a certain dragonborn with a white monk's robe and sash on, and he seems to be talking to the bartender, a rather rotund but joyful looking dwarven female. So,
Instantly, she's going to take out that weird fucking book and just huck chuck it at him.
and Huck chuck it at him.
Literally, just throw it with all her fucking might.
Okay. So you do that. After a moment, this torrid book goes flying through the air, the pages flipping open, showing people holding hands without, you know, in broad daylight around others and everything. It flies through the air, and in the blink of an eye, one of his clawed hands comes up, grabs the book out of the air, and chucks it back at you. As he turns around with a smile on his face, it's very muted, but you can tell that he seems happy to see you, but he's trying to hide the happiness in some way.
Mm-hmm.
So you now have this torrid novel flying through the air at you. Uh, what would you like to do?
Um. Shit. I had the. Can I literally just like fire punch it with the dragon ability bunk thing?
I'll let you put on whatever display you want to with
I
this.
want to fire punch it. I want to
I mean,
incinerate it.
monks do have, the whole capture thrown weapons and type deal.
Nah, I want to punch it and make it go into ashes.
You just want to punch it out of the air and burn it up.
Yep, yep, yep.
Okay. If you would please roll a d20 for me.
Oh, just a d20? Okay, hang
Yeah.
on.
And Althemia's rolls won't show in roll 20 because of
I
what
got
she's currently
a,
playing on. So I'm
I got a
trusting
12.
her. Got a 12? Okay.
I got 12.
You managed to line up just right, and flame wreathes your hand, and you punch this book out of the air. Everyone else in this tavern here that's sitting around eating kind of turn to you as ash falls to the floor. This poor novel, no more. And the Dragonborn speaks up and says, I see you've been training. Hi,
when
Faye.
when aren't I training?
He has a little grin that crosses his maw just a little bit, and he says, I taught you well. I knew you'd survive. Where were you? And he
That's
beckons you over to the bar.
and she walks over. That's a question even I don't even know how to answer.
He has a curious look to his head as he kind of tilts it to the side. And he says, I can understand that a bit. Uh,
Apparently,
Autor said that you were in quite a predicament and that I should be expecting you to make it to town with your friends. And he gets like a little look of distaste when he says the name Autor, but it just crosses and is gone. And he says, So tell
Phelan,
me, go ahead.
Phelan just shrugs. Most I can tell you is that apparently while you guys were all living life out here and whatnot, apparently we just slept through the whole couple couple of years.
You slept
Mm,
for 10 years?
yep.
Then he also takes a moment to get a really good look at you, and in kind of an amazed voice, just barely leaking out, he says, You've grown.
And with a little bit of help.
He nods his head and holds his chin somewhat knowingly, and he says, You look good.
Thanks. I'd say
And
the same to you, but it looks like you went through hell and back since I've been gone.
yeah, he doesn't look good. He's got scars and everything else. His robe is covering him from the waist down. Uh, his shoulders look, what's the word? Strong, but uh, sinewy, as if he's lost some muscle mass, but he's still strong. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Age is getting to him.
Okay, so the party has passed outside pretty much as soon as you got in here, and he had beckoned you over. Uh, you happen to see out of the corner of your eye, Midnight would step in the door, then immediately get yanked back out. This is what happened last session.
Well, if anyone has...
Let her have her reunion.
Naya's just gonna kind of give you a thumbs up and mouth later and gonna push everybody along. Yep.
Yep. So then they continue their shopping trip, and you continue your somewhat animated conversation. And he says, Yes, it's been quite a trying time these last few years. After the rain of the crystals came through, this whole island just kind of went all to hell. The volcano erupted, the sky giant stopped all conversation. Even the elves had to cut off the way to their lovely uh, village there in the midst of the trees because something started eating and wasting away. This mist started coming out of the ground around here, turning people into mimics. And while some of them still have their mind about them, it's not been a good time at all. And then he looks a little bit sad and he kind of looks down to the floor a moment. And this stoic man, this person who taught you a lot of everything you know, and your father figure and everything else, looks quite saddened. And he says, your uncle didn't make it, and I'm afraid I'm on my last legs here, and I'm not sure how many more adventuring days I have. Uh, we weren't prepared for the mist when it first came, and he kind of points down at his feet and opens a little bit of his robe. And you can see that his legs, normally these strong looking, muscular, dragonborn, scale covered legs, have the appearance of white cloth very much matching the robe he's wearing.
Mm.
He says,
Well,
I can still move, but I can't fight like I used to.
then ain't it about time you retire like everyone else did already?
He gives a little, you've been telling me that for years. I'm glad you're here and haven't changed. Yeah, I suppose we do need to retire and let those that are younger, stronger, and less experienced become more experienced.
I think me and my adventuring parties gained some experience just traveling here.
And he says, so tell me about them. Are they doing well? How's Naya? Is Colfax still with you? And Autor said you were going to have someone by the name of Drima?
Mm. They're all fine. They're well, they just tried to sneak in little bit ago, but they just got dragged out.
Ah, that was them. I didn't recognize Naya. You look the same, but like I said, you appear as you've grown. You look good. I'm proud of you for surviving the hell that we went through. It's interesting that you slept through it, but I suppose you always did like to lay off on your training early on. It's not surprising you slept through that.
And she shrugs. Under normal circumstances, I'd make a snarky reply back, but honestly, I don't know how much snark I got left in me.
Well, based on that, it sounds like you've got enough.
Honestly, don't know what happened to us back then. One second, I'm killing a bunch of goblins. Next second, I'm unconscious and inside a crystal.
A crystal?
Mm.
Did you get caught up in the crystal rain? We looked everywhere and couldn't find any of you.
We were underground.
He kind of tilts his head as if that's not really anything he expected to hear, and taps his chin a little bit. And he says, we looked everywhere. We checked the local caves and never saw anything.
Probably wouldn't have found us unless you had stumbled upon a tree and fell through it.
Naya in chat has said, did they check any caves inside trees? But I'm just glad you survived. I was quite worried when we didn't find you, but then we got called to Novell because the rest of the island is just going to hell. Elsbeth sent out word to all able adventurers and people around to come, and
I'd,
so we
I'd
kind of
keep midnight
congregated
away from
here.
crystals.
Is Midnight still being precocious?
Midnight loves being a little scientist.
She's always been a little unique. And about this time, they've gone shopping to the Book and Quill and have found everything there. Starting to
Achoo!
get
Oh, someone must be talking about me.
starting to get a little darker. Again, y'all were a little bit out of town, but you did definitely get here through the day. The tavern is here, and around that time, darn, I'm trying to figure out how to do this because I know Allie has to go soon. I'm sorry, Allie, I have to do this though.
At this point, Naya's gonna cast sending
Uh huh.
to Phelan and be like, "Y'all done yet?
Can we come back yet?
Y'all good? Can we come in?"
You guys could have came in anytime you wanted to.
Okay. So there we go. Naya's gonna let them know, hey, I think they're ready for us.
Yep. So,
Silent!
so Midnight busts through the door, and this
Midnight's like
scared
round
the
two. Let me get in
keeper.
here.
bird flies through the door yelling Phelan.
Hello.
Urzahan looks at it curiously and says, "Hello, Kofax. Welcome."
He, instead of coming through the door, there's like an open window. He just crawls through the open window.
Phelan, I scared a bookkeeper.
You scared the bookkeeper?
Yeah.
Did you scare him shitless?
Well, I didn't check his trousers, but probably.
The rotund barkeeper kind of looks up at Urzahan and said, "I'm assuming they're with you." And he nods his head, and she goes back to general busy work there at the bar, cleaning mugs and refilling people's drinks as they come up and go. The inn here isn't extremely full. There's maybe 3 or 4 people at the tables outside of you all, and Urzahan. Stairs lead up to another floor
I'm
that has
guessing
a
in.
picture of beds.
Yep.
Yeah.
We should get room.
Well, unless
Naya
Urzahan has a
is
place for us to stay, but
Naya's looking at the paper that we got a while back, the receipt,
Oh,
Mhm.
and is looking at the sign and then looking at the paper and then looking at the sign and then looking at the paper. It just kind of strides over to where
Uh-huh.
Erzahan and Phelan and the barkeep are.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, I have this. And hands over the paper.
Okay. The barkeep, the dwarven woman kind of looks at the paper, eyes it over, and she says, "Give me just a moment."
Okay.
And you see her walk over to the side and then start going down some stairs that are there behind the bar. And after a moment, she comes back up with a bottle of wine that has a little piece of twine and another piece of paper attached to it. And she holds both the pieces of paper together, and the edges line up somewhat perfectly as if they used to be one piece that has been ripped slightly apart.
Claim ticket.
And then she comes back and she says, "Okay, I have it here. Can you please place your finger on the arm?" And she
Huh?
points to a little white stone that's that is there on the bar.
ID check.
Or just a claim check.
Essentially signing to confirm receipt.
Yep.
It's a little white stone that's just there on the bar.
Naya's gonna give a glance at Urzahan, and if Urzahan doesn't look like anything's weird, is gonna go
Now
ahead
he's
and
just watching.
put the finger to it.
Okay, the little white stone starts to glow, and the barkeep woman says, "Do you know, or are you an acquaintance of Ralph the Liar, Ralph the Cheater, Ralph the Thief, or anyone within the Ralph group?"
We found a note from him that claims that he owes us money, but we haven't met him personally.
The little white gem glows a dull green. She nods her head and says, "Okay," and then offers you this bottle of wine. It's a very old looking bottle of wine. There's not really much of a label on it. The bottle is very dark, and she says it's been here for a bit. It's a fine vintage.
Who is this
It looks
Ralph
vintage
person?
for sure.
So feel free to add a very fine vintage wine to your item list and remove the claims ticket.
Who is this Ralph person?
The Ralph group is quite an interesting group of rogues that seems to wander the countryside getting into all sorts of things. Over the
Yep.
years, they've built up quite a reputation of not paying their tab, so we've had to install these anti-Ralph measures in various places, especially here in Novell.
A better question would be, why are they all named Ralph?
That's something you would have to ask them.
My
I'm
guess is it's an alias.
We're not even sure that it's different people.
I'm good. Something tells me I just punch him.
She lets out a haughty laugh.
That seems weird.
So while everybody's focusing on the wine, I'm gonna bounce up to Urzahan and be like, "Hi, Urzahan. I have a question. Have you seen Nana recently?"
I saw her a few years ago before the mirror storm happened. She was in. Actually, she was at home at the time, I believe, when it happened. She had gone there to help people after everything on the island kind of went to crap. Uh, and just out of the ground, everything started growing as a mirror up that way. Not exactly where it happened. Uh, this was maybe 7 or 8 years after the crystal rain happened, so it's not been that long ago. Uh, Nobody's really been heard from since, and sending any messages in get garbled or come back backwards, and nearly everyone that's gone in to check on things come back and they're just changed people. They don't act right. A few of them turn to crime. And so we've got a standing notice right now to not really send anybody there until we hear something back from the people that live there. So I'm
Oh, so
afraid I don't have any more information.
I guess that means I can't go see Nana.
Urzahan kind of looks down at you all as you're gathered around, and he says, "You've grown." And Dream is kind of standing there in the back of the room, and he tilts his head at her for a moment, and then looks back at y'all, and he says, "If you decide to go, that would be whatever your destiny decides for you, and what you decide for your destiny."
Does it look like he recognized Drema as he looked at her?
He looked up at her, this person who walked in with you all, and like I said, he just kind of tilted his head for a moment and then looked back down at you all. Uh, If anyone would like to, please give me either an insight check or perception check.
Where is my insight on this?
Can I do that even though I was also trying to negotiate rooms while we were doing this?
You can.
You said
because-
insight or perception?
Yes.
Yeah, they're the same for me no matter what.
That was a very
Since
bad
I'm
roll.
the one who's asking. Does it look like he recognizes Drema?
The glance he looked at her, it was not a glance of recognition, but you can see that something kind of caught him off guard from the look before he
Did I
looked.
tell that too, or
What did you actually roll?
18?
Yeah. So I mean, the glance was easily visible to everybody. You know, everyone saw him kind of glance up at Drema and then back down. Midnight, Colfax, Kalina, and Phelan could tell that something, I want to say startled, but it's not really that type of thing. It is just something
Was
definitely
off
caught
about it?
him off guard with what he saw.
I wonder if
I'm wondering-
his eyes lingered on her throat.
Does he see the
It
gem?
did very much.
So he might see the gem. So then I'm just gonna let it pass, and I'm gonna turn around and ask, Urzahan, do you know if anybody ended up finding Rose, my sister?
Rose was with your grandmother. After what happened to your parents and your brother, she took Rose in.
Okay, 'cause from what I was told, when we ended up back in Kashi, nobody knew where she was. I know my parents are gone, but nobody knew where Rose was.
And Rose went to your grandmother.
Okay.
Everything kind of went out of control there after the healing started and then immediately ended and the crystals grew. We lost track of so many people, but Rose was found and your grandmother took her.
Okay.
And then he looks back down at the rest of you and kind of does the little look across the group and says, "You've all grown," and then looks at Colfax and says, "Well, not you, but you look good."
Thank you.
Womp.
You short, Colfax.
Yeah,
then-
I just haven't had my growth spurt yet, so. And I'm
Uh,
gonna outlive
Yeah,
all.
isn't he the oldest out of all of us?
I'm gonna outlive all of you anyways, so.
He's the most adult out of all of you.
Midnight
He's
leans an elbow on top of Colfax's head.
And then Urzon looks up at this bird that's floating in the air and says, "And who might you be?"
Oh, Midnight doesn't
Me?
talk anymore.
Oh, yeah. Well, I am Princess. I
Midnight's
speak
voice.
for Midnight. Yes, I am Midnight's voice.
He kind of looks back between
Nice to meet
Princess and Midnight and he says, "Is this the new puppet?"
Princess is a bit of a bird
Wait,
brain.
I? Rude.
And then
But
he
true.
looks.
Now you're
He
just kind of snickering at what was going on.
Then he gets
Palin's
a little
also
bit.
one.
He gets a little bit of a serious look on his face as he kind of looks down to you generally, but he kind of makes Phelan the target of most of the conversation. You know, as if he's talking to you as a group, but the one he looks at the most is Phelan. You can tell that he seems concerned for her and everything else, but he gets a very stoic and serious look on his face. And he says, "Is that Drima that I was told about standing over there.
Yeah.
Do you not recognize her?
No, should I?
Naya's gonna speak up now. She's been kind of quiet this whole time. And she's gonna be like, "You said something earlier when we spoke. You know Ator?"
Yes, he is the one that told me of your all's safety and that I would see you again one day. That's part of what kept me going, was trying to keep going in hopes of seeing Phelan again and the rest of you, and knowing that you're okay gives me great relief. And
Did you know that I would reach out to you?
I did not. That was a surprise. All Autor said was that you would be stopping by and I should be prepared to tell you what he said and to make sure to not hold you here too much, as you have a greater destiny than even I can comprehend. But he's, and the whole time that you're talking about Artur, he seems kind of agitated, but not angrily agitated.
Phelan kind of just rolls her eyes at the greater destiny part. She still don't believe it.
Feels like Artor has more plans for us than we had for ourselves.
I think Altor is full of shit.
And I'm
And
kind of curious as to his other part of his statement now, because I'm like, and you don't know Drema. We knew Drema before all of this.
Drema grew up with us. In Kashi.
I don't remember her at all. I know all of you, but I don't know her. And
Above board question.
uh-huh.
What the heck was the name of the guy in Kashi again? I can't
Alfred,
find my note. Yeah, Alfred.
Alfred.
Alfred
Alfred.
didn't recognize her either.
now,
This is weird.
Autor just said that you would have a girl named Drima with you. He didn't give me any other information other than she would be an interesting person. And I think I see why.
Why is
It,
that?
it's first, it's very weird that you all seem convinced that I should know her, and I don't. And second, that gem she has on her throat is quite strange in and of itself.
Wait, you see it?
I do.
I'm just gonna look at Naya very confused.
Well, it depends on if you see it.
I was being sneaky. Sorry. Firedale was busy, so I didn't
Go ahead.
DM him yet. But I was going to very cautiously. I was gonna kind of stealthily put a hand on Erzahan
Uh-huh.
and pump a cure wounds into him.
Okay. He looks a little more lively. I mean, he accepts it. You can tell that he saw what you were doing,
Okay.
but he didn't stop you.
Okay.
A little bit of color returns to the little fleshy parts of his cheeks that you can
Yeah,
see
he looked kind of
between
worn.
the scales.
We should make him
Yeah.
some tea tomorrow.
And he kind of lifts his claw and beckons Drima over too. And he looks down at her and he says, uh, "Hello, I believe you're Drima. My name is Urzahan. It's a pleasure to meet you." And he kind of looks at her expectantly, and she,
She's unable to speak because of her
oh,
injury.
oh, that kind of sets him back for a minute as he stuck his foot where his mouth is, or so he feels. And then he
Yeah, she
coughs. and
She
cleared his
hasn't
throat.
been able to talk since we came out of the crystals.
I
Right.
told you we slept in crystals.
It's a crying shame.
Fredo,
Yes.
above board,
Uh-huh.
who woke up from the crystals first?
If
Midnight,
I
I believe it
remember right,
was.
it was
Me.
yeah.
Okay. I
And
couldn't
Midnight,
remember.
I
Phelan
think,
woke up
got me out.
Yeah, I couldn't remember the order.
I just remember Phelan was like dead last.
If I'm not going fast enough for you, just
Drema
just
got me out, and I shot at her with my Eldritch Blast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And scared the crap out of her.
German was beating
the
on
crap out of
his
me.
chest with a stone.
Okay.
So he looks back down at
Oh,
y'all.
sorry about that.
and
That was
he
a tab. I
says,
just
Autor said
opened
you
on
would
its
be
own.
coming and to expect you, and he gave me
So,
a list of things
okay.
that I'm supposed to tell
Yeah.
you.
Thanks for being here,
But
everyone.
I'm not 100% sure what it has to do with. It was
Oh,
several
another
little
list.
sheets of paper.
Get out the
Naya,
paper.
Naya
We know
digs
it's
out
you.
the prophecy. Okay, here we go again.
I repeat
He
what I said
tends
before.
to be quite mysterious in his messages with us.
I repeat what I said
Prophecy.
They
before.
don't
I-
make sense
Okay, here's the
I
prophecy.
believe
until they make
Altor.
sense.
I believe Altor is full of shit.
He kind of nods his head and he says, I didn't trust the dragon, but he just knew so much about you, Phelan. Things that I know and you know and no one else should. It's almost as if he knows you.
Yes, Autor
knows
is a
what now?
dragon.
I forgot that bit.
Yes, Autor is supposed to
It's
be a
been a
dragon.
while, okay? Naya only met him the once, and she's avoided meeting him ever since.
Phelan's
And-
literally just like, he knows what now?
Yeah, he says, yes, he told me things about you that I know no one else knows.
Alright,
It's
so
like he knows you.
alright, so new plan.
Right.
I'm going to be Altor, a new one, to mind his own business.
Well, give us these papers from Otto.
Yeah. And
How
I
about
will
a please, princess? Or midnight?
Sorry, please. I'm just excited.
Another mystery. Whoa.
The puzzles.
and to make it easier on you all, this one's a little bit simpler.
You're not trying to break my brain?
Well, I can't say that won't happen,
Aww.
but it'll be another little thing here. Hold on. I have
Yeah,
to get
I
it up.
pulled up the original point of the prophecy on my end from the journal.
Here we go again.
Here we go
Autor's
again.
already.
Yeah, I have the
Autor's
poems.
are. I'm gonna tell Urzahan. Autor's already had us send a unicorn back to the Fae.
I know, we got to send a unicorn back to the Feywild, and I didn't get to go. I'm still kind of bitter about that.
Like I said, I'm pretty sure Altor's just full of shit. He just likes to hear himself talk.
I was so close to going
else-
home.
We also had to fight some hags.
He seems rather interested why he's digging through a large
Okay, the hags I did enjoy
pouch.
beating up.
Autor seems to have a lot of plans for us.
Altor needs to mind
I
his own.
just want to see Nana.
I mean,
Oh.
they said we shouldn't go there. They didn't say we had to stay away.
I don't want to become sick in the head.
I mean, we fixed what was going on in the forest. Who's to say we can't fix what's going on there?
What she said.
What time is it?
Does
Time
it
to get a
matter?
watch?
It's about 7 o'clock. The sun is starting to set.
It's almost
Also-
nighttime. That's all that matters.
Yeah, I would have asked the barkeep for rooms for the night, and I would have asked if it was too late to call on Elsbeth. Also,
Probably too late for Elsbeth,
okay.
and Urzahan picks up the tab for your
Oh, that was
bedtime
kind.
now.
That was kind.
I'm sorry
Have
that
a
it's
place to
taken
sleep.
me.
When he picks up the tab for the rooms, Phelan's just gonna joke, "Holy shit, he gained a heart during this whole 10 years."
Maybe Autor gave him money since he's expecting us.
I think your dad's
If Autor gave him money, I don't want it no more.
You just really don't like Autor, huh?
No.
Is your dad rich?
I don't know.
Naya's just not commenting on the fact that we have like potentially thousands of gold between us at this point.
Yep.
Faye's just gonna look at Midnight and be like, he's an old fart. What do you want from me? That's all I know.
Fair enough.
So he pulls out 3 pieces of paper that look rather old and withered, much like the ones that you had found before.
Yeah.
So
And he
let me
says,
guess. More
go ahead.
riddles.
He says,
Start tapping into the prophecy.
Well, let's
See
read
if
it
they
first.
can glow.
Let's read
you
it
would
first.
know what this means.
5 children slumber bound by mystic charms. In dreams they think they woken to alarms. As teens they live within their dreams' embrace, unknowing they're but shades in timeless space.
Can somebody screenshot it and send it in the D&D chat?
Yeah.
Yep.
I will
Give me a
send
sec.
the actual thing. Give
Thank
me a
you.
moment, because it's not an image.
Yet in the dreams the great
There you go.
evil does conspire.
You love me.
A veil to blind, a trap to quench the fire. To keep the seekers lost, their purpose blurred, and shield the girl by twisted dreams unheard. Yet none suspect the threads that tightly wind, for past and present are but one combined. The souls they seek now lost within the dream, a puzzle waiting for its final scene.
That's not ominous at all.
Mm-mm.
Faye's literally going to say, wait, were you reading it out loud or were you just reading it out loud were you reading it out loud in character?
I feel like Princess was probably reading it out loud.
Yeah.
Yes.
Faye's just gonna be like,
I like puzzles.
thanks. I hate it.
I don't
I don't like it either.
I don't like the implication of this because my storytelling brain is potentially 2 steps ahead of Firedale here, and I think I'm going to hate this if it's true, but I'm not.
Yeah, I'm not liking what I'm seeing above board either. And so I'm just kind of looking at the original poem and I'm looking at the note, going, I kind of don't want to tap any of these. I'm good. I'm good without changing any of this. I'm good.
Hey, so can we just ignore the stupid prophecy then?
I tapped.
Kind of want to, yes.
I tapped the yet in the dreams paragraph and the in dreams they find a respite paragraph.
Nothing happens.
Like I said, all
I
20s mind
I
his own
swear,
damn business.
I'm gonna fly down to Firedale's house and slap him in the
paragraph
face.
out of this that isn't making me.
If it turns out our secondary characters are the villains
The last
and
one.
fake.
The last one.
I'm sorry.
They're
everything seems so
they're
ominous.
illusions
Dude, Faye
that we're
look, just
dreaming.
because Faye found
Paragraph
Urza
one by
again
one
does not mean she's not going to
Till they all fit in.
I swear, I'm going to. I'm gonna do
5
it.
children
I'm gonna do it.
slumber bound by mystic charms, replaces in dreams they find respite.
No.
Oh,
I hate all of it.
No.
I hate.
You made it worse.
And then the yet in dreams, the great evil does conspire, replaces
Behind him.
amongst this dance.
Oh.
There's a third unseen.
Yeah, true.
So I vote on retiring now from partying.
and then yet none.
And the
Yet
yet
woven by a
none
thread.
replaces yet woven. Yep.
Yeah.
Are we gonna eventually get one that has them in the proper places?
He's been changing them as we go.
Yeah, he's been changing it as we go.
If you look at
Okay.
the bottom, where they're colored differently.
I
The
say that
text,
when
not
I
the
can't
image.
see it. I'm smart.
Yeah.
Somebody just shared their screen. Tears.
Edit.
I will screenshot it to you once.
Let me just.
Thank
Did
you.
you already fix it, Meteor?
Oh, Meteor got it. Okay, I was about to do it.
I just shared my screen.
Yeah, he just went live in Discord so that Allie could see.
Yay, I'm loved.
So hopefully,
Are you changing
making
the
it making it
column
a
into
little bit
sections?
bigger.
Oh, I didn't realize I could.
There's an edit button.
There is.
Yeah, we can't change the image version, but we can change the text underneath, which is what was being changed before.
This.
There's one
They're
change.
colored specifically.
There's another.
Let me know when it's changed so I can reopen it.
I'm working. That one and yep, 9.
I'm gonna.
Man, it feels so nice
I'm
to
gonna
actually
keep
be able to
the
unmute
rest
and talk.
of my thoughts until after the stream, and y'all fire y'all after the stream. No, I'm kidding.
I
It
can
has
show
been
off more.
updated. Again, you will have to scroll down because the original.
Yeah, and it updated live, even though I still had it open, by the way.
Oh, hey.
When you
It
pressed the button, it
does?
changed. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, I'm confused. What does the colors mean?
Originally, the colors signified ones that were in different languages. The first 3 were originally.
But as we've tapped them, they've come into common.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. As of now, the first 6 have been completely changed.
Wonderful.
Okay, is anyone else's brain hurt?
Yep.
Thank you. Okay.
My brain is upset at the ramifications of this, but Naya's just like,
But does your brain hurt?
Naya's does.
Oh, I'm being screamed at. No.
Okay, above board, am I getting this right in thinking that we might not be in our real realm?
Correct.
Oh, I'll be.
Okay.
See, I was thinking
These
that
might
we
not be
living in
our actual family that we know.
Correct. We're within Dream's embrace, according to this. We're still sleeping. Which Naya really doesn't like the ramifications of that.
Because Naya doesn't like sleeping.
So, having changed these over, please tell me exactly what your characters are thinking concerning what has just switched
Naya-
over in the new
so
prophecy.
Good at puzzles.
Naya is worrying that
crazy.
the girl being shielded by the great evil is Drema.
Gem.
So the concern number 1. Concern number 2, the fact that we're possibly still asleep.
Or in an alternate
Give me 1 second. When I come back, I'll say what.
plane universe.
Okay.
Well, Naya's more worried about the still asleep. Different
yes,
universe,
you and
okay.
sleep.
She's already in a different plane than she was. She's more concerned about I'm still not awake. Really? Really?
I hate this sleep thing.
I hate this so much. And then also the last one, the last paragraph, she's kind of like, huh, okay, so this says that we're lost within the dream.
How do
what's
we
going on with this
become
past and present
found?
combined thing? Yeah, I'm like,
How do we become found?
right.
I'm wondering if we have to write everything
We're
in
lost,
this
but lost to who?
world.
Who's looking
Aylin's
for
going
us?
to literally just hold her head and just let out a big ass yell and just be like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Language!
Urzahan says that out loud too. Language, Phelan.
Oh, come on. You said worse when I was a kid.
Don't use those yucky swear words, Faye.
You're telling
Shouts
me
expletives.
Aylin's literally just like, you're telling me this whole entire time I've been trying to keep a secret, but it might not even fucking matter because this world might not be real.
He kind of looks at y'all curiously and says, "What are you talking about?" Or is this just what you're thinking and not actually yelling out?
Oh no, she's yelling.
She's
it.
probably yelling it.
She's yelling
Okay.
it. She's very much so just like
Just give
yelling
him a
derogative
minute.
here, derogative
Naya's
there, fuck this, fuck that.
examining Drema for reactions.
Drima is looking at y'all curiously and doesn't seem to be reacting in any specific way. She kind of looks, what's the word? Anxious, based on how you all seem to be suddenly looking at her differently. But it seems more like it's someone that's
Faye's
being
not looking
stared
at her
at.
differently. She's more just yelling into the void.
Fire
Yeah.
down.
I'm gonna walk over to Drama and whisper into her ear, "Is any of this info new to you?"
She starts to nod and then immediately clasps at her throat as little wisps of smoke come off.
Can't.
I'll give her a
And then
hug
she
and be like, "Kate,
shrugs her
Kate, no."
shoulders.
Naya will reach a hand out and do a cure wounds on Drema and be like, "It's gonna be okay."
Okay.
Hey, Fire
Yes.
How far away did we get from Faye when she was here and we were book shopping?
It was literally the building next door. The Book and Quill is
Not very
right
far.
next to the Broken Compass.
So I'm looking at the part that says,
I think that was more we can't be distanced from Drema,
yeah, well, Faye was.
but
'Cause
we weren't
were
that
with
far
Drema
away.
And Faye wasn't.
I'm wondering if it means us as a whole. We need to stay with Drema. Or Drema needs to stay with us.
Yeah, I was curious.
Maybe
if
we're her
one of us
ties.
got too far away from Drema, if it would hurt us.
Or hurt her.
Didn't I feel like we touched on that already when we woke?
Mhm.
But maybe
Because Drema didn't leave us.
she
She
tried
could
to
have.
get help and she couldn't.
Yeah, it caused her pain.
Correct. We've already found that out. Or at least Naya has. And I think she would have told y'all about that because I think Naya asked her point blank at some point. One of
I
their night
believe so.
chats.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
Well,
Oh,
okay,
dear.
so Naya is concerned.
Yeah.
What is Midnight thinking? Just that Midnight is so great with puzzles.
yeah, pretty much. That would be
And
what she was thinking.
and what's Kalina thinking?
I'm just overwhelmed. A little annoyed. I wish Otto would just be forward with us.
And
All
Phelan's
I
looking
want to do is see
like,
Nana. And now
No.
Nana might not be my real Nana?
We didn't
yeah, for
ask
real.
her
That's
this.
that's what's going through Phelan's head. She's like, most of these people are probably not fucking real. What's the point of any of this anymore?
So, Colfax.
Yes.
What is Colfax thinking?
He's just kind of like looking around at everything. Kind of walking around poking at things. Trying to see
Everything
if it
definitely
exists.
seems real.
Yeah. He like looks.
The table feels like a table.
He crawls up
What
on the table. There's somebody's food there. He pokes into the food and just
What
like
if we're
eats
the
it a little
ones
bit.
that aren't real?
The person whose food you just poked looks extremely upset at you and pulls their plate away and says you can buy your own.
Sorry.
And goes
sorry,
back to
sorry.
eating.
He just kind of crawls back down. He goes to the window, hops up on the window, crawls out of it. It's like you hear a little bit of rustling, some chickens, and then he comes in through the door. Comes in through the front door.
Naya is still. So Naya wants to focus back in on Erzan.
I am such a
One
troublemaker.
moment, though. I need to find out what Phelan is thinking of all
Okay.
this. Though, based on what has been said, I'm pretty sure I know what Phelan's thinking. But what is Phelan thinking about all
Fuck
this?
this, fuck shit, fuck everything. I hate life.
Expletive, 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 expletive.
Phelan ain't happy.
Yeah. So as y'all read this and have your thoughts about it that kind of shake your feeling of the world and the reality of the situation, you know, Urzahan speaks up and starts to say something, but as he's speaking, you can't really make out what he says. It sounds kind of
Oh,
jumbled
that's 2 fire
and
trucks and
just
a fire chief.
out of earshot. You hear what sounds
Wow.
like a
It's a big
cracking
one.
piece of glass that's as loud as thunder in your ear, and
Ow.
for just an instant, flickering in front of your eyes, you find yourselves in a room that seems to be made of red rock. There's dripping water around, and
Whoa.
down on a table in front of you appears to be Drimma, and Naya has her hand on Drimma's chest. Colfax is there holding a knife in his hand over her.
Ooh.
Uh, Pretty much it's the image from way back at the very start
The statue.
Mm-hmm.
that you see, and it flickers for just an instant and is gone. And then
Naya,
Urza, go ahead.
I was gonna say Naya's gonna sigh because she was waiting for the other two to drop, and she no longer has to focus back on her side because her question's been answered.
Yes.
What was
Phelan's
that?
literally just going to hold her head in like utter irritation. She is practically like holding her head. She's not screaming, like words aren't coming out her mouth, but you can tell she's very much so irritated and
I'm just
overwhelmed.
gonna look at Naya wide-eyed.
And Urzahan continues his speaking, said that you all would have an important part to play and you could undo what's going on. And then
I
he
can still
kind of tilts his head and looks a little bit alarmed as suddenly everyone's disposition changes instantly from his point of view.
I don't care what he wants with us, but I ain't following his stupid prophecy no more.
What was
Fuck
that?
this shit.
And
I'm gonna go up to Faye and I'm just gonna hug her.
So
And I'm
Naya
just gonna
is
whisper.
going to go ahead.
I'm just gonna whisper, but we have to get back to our real selves.
you say that out loud and y'all hear another crack in the distance.
Well, I whispered that to her.
I know.
You're still expressing doubt in the state of the world.
Urzahan looks extremely
Normal circumstance.
concerned
Just said sounded
looking
very
at
Naya-
you all.
Is going to interject here because she was gonna say a thing before that happened, but I didn't want to interrupt too much. So,
Go ahead.
So Naya, after seeing that flash of the room,
Uh-huh.
has kind of her hold on Drema has turned more like very much protective.
Yes, and you felt that extremely during that momentary flash.
Yep.
Yeah, her hold has become very protective around Drema at this point now.
Yeah. During that
And
flash, everybody got that feeling of this is an important person to me.
We need to save.
I'm like, whether
We
or
need to
not
fix.
we believe this is real, if there's even a chance that it is and we can fix it,
We have to.
we
need
have
go
to.
upstairs, away from here.
I want to see Nana again.
We will.
I'm going to teach this dude a lesson for fucking with me.
Look, I don't particularly care for his prophecy at this moment. I'm with you on that. However, if we can help, I think we need to. We need to try,
Help what?
but we don't have to do it the way he's telling us to.
Help Drema.
Help Drema, help your Nana, help
Us?
Novale, help us, help Marsend, help whatever is going on here, because I don't know that we, if we are in fact
The key.
the key and we're not where we're supposed to be, I don't think we get back unless we fix it.
Midnight would
tired.
probably be like trying to pull Drema up to our room.
Trying to drag Drima out of the main room of the inn.
Yeah.
Is there a magical lighthouse where we can where we can play with dials and set things back to order again?
I think we need to talk to Elsbeth, but I was told it might be too late to talk to her tonight.
I think that's a morning thing for us.
I think we start with talking to Elsbeth.
So
If
as
anyone knows
ahead.
what's going on in town or anything that may have appeared as a result of this, like a broken clock tower with dials, I think she would know. They would know.
Those people are still thinking, and as poor Phelan is ignoring and denying the destiny as set forth as far as she sees it, someone trying to control her life, that image flickers again in your mind, and a few things happen. So Phelan, as you are in this room with the redness, your eyes land directly on the huge head of a gold dragon that seems to have been shoved inside a door that's looking at you all. And
Autor.
just a name flashes through your mind, and you say it out loud. The others hear what you say, and the words kind of leave your mouth uncontrollably, and you say the name Arrosalanator. Don't worry, I will type it.
Thank you.
Okay.
I'm
The hyphen-
assuming that is the proper name for autor.
That is the reason for the hyphen. Or not the hyphen, the apostrophe. Yep.
That was a big name.
There's the name.
Yep.
Can you see Roll20 chat, Allie?
I'm copying it to Allie.
Okay. So I'll put it there. So
I-
that name leaves Phelan's lips in this weird room look. Along with this, Kalina, you feel a bunched up piece of parchment, paper, in your hand, and you look down at it, and you see a rolled up, crumpled note of some type there in that instance. And Colfax, that knife in your hand, for just an instant, you feel like you're pulling it up and away. You're not slamming it down. It's just, that feeling you get. It's that jerk reaction. And Naya, again, you have.
It's like you're not trying to kill her. You're trying to
You're
pull
pulling
it
back.
away from her. Or maybe pulling it out of her.
And Colfax, Kalina.
You said note in hand.
Naya,
Yep.
you've got your hand placed on Drima's chest, and you can feel something damp and slippery beneath your palm, and you feel like you're trying to channel magic
Naya is
into
going
this.
So she's
to
trying to heal.
instinctively cast a spare the dying. Just in that moment.
Hmm.
Whether or not it does anything, just immediately feels the urge to cast a Spare the Dying.
Okay, Ellie, it's all good. Ellie has to take a quick break. Give
Okay.
her just a moment.
What is Midnight doing?
One moment. Midnight. In this
Also,
image, go ahead.
oh, go ahead.
In this flicker of a moment, your entire focus is up towards the ceiling, where you see, separated from the ceiling, a rather large stalactite that seems to be hung midair, and just above that, an imp like creature that's looking down.
Okay.
And then
What's
your
this?
your minds
I
flicker
would
back
assume.
into reality.
Well, what's Faye's supposed to be doing?
She had to step away.
Now,
Faye
here's a
saw the dragon.
question. Faye saw the dragon? I thought that was Naya with the name. Oh, Faye
Mm-mm.
saw
No,
dragon.
that was
Nope.
Phelan.
No, Naya is getting surges of protectiveness and feeling like attempting to cast magic.
Yep.
That's all Naya's getting.
So who got the name then? That was.
That was Phelan.
That was Faye. Faye was looking at the big dragon head in the door, and a name flew from her lips.
Did we have any recognition of the name when we heard it?
It felt
I
natural and known to you at the
like
time.
Autor. Yeah. Do we look our ages that we are now?
Oh no, that wasn't what I was getting at, Nene.
Well, that was a question that I had.
Okay. Well, continue my question really quick. I was going for, does it sound like a name from a language that we know? Because Naya is wondering if it felt infernal.
No, it actually felt rather draconic.
Okay, making sure. There we go.
Sounds like the name that a dragon would be named.
Okay.
Now, answer to my question, please. Do we look older? Do we look our ages? Do we look kids?
In that momentary flash of what you can see, all you saw around you yourself was a bunch of shadowy figures, but you definitely saw Drima laying on the table.
Did we
Thanks.
see ourselves in
Thanks,
enough
Ellis.
detail to
Yeah,
know
it's just
what age we looked?
In that instant,
our
it
character we're playing.
looked like you as you are now, but not quite. Something felt off. It was kind of hazy. You know the old VHS thing from the horror games, where it's got little slips and screen tearing going up and down the screen and everything else. Yeah, you kind of saw that as if what you were seeing was you, but not at the same time. Then you find yourselves back in reality.
Are y'all hearing some static? Sorry about
Reality,
that.
air
I
quotes.
will.
I don't like
I'll
this.
get that fixed. Sorry about that.
I don't like this.
So just
Naya,
Yeah.
noise gate thing with my
you
mic.
feel
Maybe get
in your
adjusted here.
pocket a sudden weight, and two magic circles flash behind your eyes.
Okay.
One appears as if the runes are completely null and voided,
Hmm.
and the other is pretty much filled with runes of beyond. So, if you would please note that you've got something in your pocket
Okay.
and you have learned to teleportation circles.
I've learned 2 teleportation circles. Okay.
I don't physically have a piece of paper in my hand right now, correct?
No.
I know what I'm doing. Yeah.
No,
So I
you
don't
don't.
get to look at the paper. Dang it.
Nope. This all happened in, quote unquote, the blink of an eye. But you get this overwhelming sense when it was happening. Your focus was dead set on what you were seeing, feeling, experiencing. It's like you experience the whole thing in that moment during that blink.
What I missed?
Welcome back.
Yeah, I'm back. What?
You said you looked at dragon, big gold dragon, and said a name. Everyone else experienced some stuff during this flash, and now y'all are back in reality.
I apparently know teleportation circles now. Not that I've had time to tell anyone that.
This is just suddenly, they're in your mind as if you suddenly remembered them. So this is happening. Urzon is looking very concerned.
Might be
Even the
better.
people that were sitting around eating are looking at y'all concerned. The barkeep, the elven woman, looks up and says, "Are you okay?" And
I'll
she
do some
reaches
testing
out
on
to
it.
tap
See if
Naya's
it's
shoulder, and Urzon is looking very
that's
concernedly
gotten
at
rid of
Phelan, who
the
has
sound stuff.
just gone on a random tirade in the middle of this tavern.
Naya will turn. She'll let the hand make contact.
Mm.
But she'll look at the barkeep and just kind of give an easy grin and be like, "Sorry, it's been a long journey. We're tired."
And we just got news we don't quite like.
And Naya will shake her head at Kalina with that. Be like, "We're very tired."
Midnight's hand would probably start glowing right now.
We should probably just head
I
up.
thought you were dragging Drimma up the stairs.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
Drimma's
I'm
not
sure
putting up a
that
fuss.
vision probably would have stopped me in my tracks.
Yeah, and I will say something to note. Good boy is nowhere to be seen.
Of course.
I let the energy die down and pull Drema the rest of the way upstairs.
Okay. The bartender calls out and tells you what your rooms are. Urzahan says you should go rest, and Phelan, I'll be here if you need me. And he kind of shoos you all towards the stairs because he seems concerned for everyone's well-being. You can tell that he has the look of care and concern in his eyes, even without an insight check.
I'm gonna grab Faye's hand and tug her to head upstairs.
She'll willingly
I don't know
follow
if that's
along,
any better,
albeit
but
silently.
Okay. So you all go up the stairs. You find several rooms.
it sounds a little bit
There have
better.
been 3 that's assigned to you all as the group.
Oh yeah, I will say goodnight to Urzahan though.
Didn't-
He offers a parting good night and good morrow.
Yeah, Naya will
I am kind of wondering if that noise
try
gate turned
to
off at some point
get to Urzahan before they
and
depart
it just
and
never turned back
whisper
on.
in its ear. We'll be okay. We got this.
He nods his head.
That would
And
be
he says,
interesting.
I know you all are strong. I mean, you're here. So I have faith. I don't normally trust dragons, but this man was different.
Naya will dig out a vial of the Fayflower tea.
Mm-hmm.
One of the ones that's not warmed up yet.
Uh-huh.
And basically say, warm this up and take a swig when you have a chance. It may help you feel
We'll
better.
have to.
We'll see you in the morning.
We'll have to redo all
He
this
nods
stuff
his
in
head
a
and says, Thank
couple
you,
months,
Naya.
anyways.
Also,
we,
it's nice to see you.
There's a new
as well."
computer here.
Is she
Yeah.
in spring form right now?
I am.
Okay.
Yep.
And as you're going up the stairs, he has turned around and is offering the vial to the bartender, and you hear him ask her, "Can you heat this up for me, please?" Just as you disappear up the stairs.
Very good.
So you have 3 adjacent rooms. Each room has 3 beds each in it. The rooms are somewhat plain, they're not all very decorated and everything else. The beds look well kept. Uh, there is a door between each of the rooms that you can open into the other rooms that has several places, several key locks on it. Everyone was given a set of keys for their room, both to lock the door going in
Mhm.
and to also lock the door between. And in order to unlock or lock the doors between, uh, the keys from both rooms have to be used.
So kind of like a safety deposit box. Both keys have to be used to be able to
Yeah,
unlock.
well, it's also good that you don't want your neighbor, if they're not part of your group, to be able to open the door into your room at night when you're asleep.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
that
Joint
that's
rooms
I
in
mean,
a
if they
hotel.
would willingly
That's
punch you in
important.
the face.
But yeah, so basically, once we're all up to a room, Naya's going to be like, okay, let's talk inside.
Yep.
So y'all go into your room.
Dude, once they get into a room, Phelan's just going to take her anger out on the closest thing to her.
Yep. Yep. Saw that one coming. Um,
And
So
once she's done burning off some energy, I'll pull her onto the bed and I'll drape my blanket over the two of us.
I will start mending whatever Phelan
whatever
has
was broken.
destroyed.
She's gonna
Yeah.
punch the shit out of a wall. It's the
Midnight.
closest thing, man, and it's not a human being. It's just a 1-2 punch wall.
Yeah, it's fine because Naya will just mend whatever you damage so you can do it again and
I
again
see.
and
I
again.
actually see Phelan punching this wall over and over, and Naya mending the wall, and then
Punch,
Phelan punching
heal,
somewhere
punch,
else
fix.
just because she's frustrated that that part of the wall
Exactly.
keeps mending.
This
And then,
wall had hopes and dreams, and she's beating the shit out of it.
and eventually, Phelan would finally get tired and get all that energy out, and probably be very exhausted after all that.
And then I grab her, pull her to the bed, make her sit, and I drape the blanket over the two of us.
Literally, once she gets
Yeah, nice
tired, she
grandpa.
starts getting teary-eyed a bit as
Blanket.
as she gets pulled onto the bed.
Midnight has Drema in a corner of the room and is kind of like standing guard over her.
Protect the drama.
Like standing
Drema
in
looks
front of her.
concerned about being shoved in the corner and kind of is peeking out ever so often, up and left over Midnight's left shoulder, and
See
then
what's going
leaning
on with
down and up
Phelan,
and
yeah.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
just kind of
Or-
watching everything.
Or I think Faye and I are trying to just process the fact that our family isn't
real.
our family.
Like
They're
what?
not. They're real, but they're not our family.
Yeah, we're living a lie currently.
apparently so. Yeah.
Oh no, you definitely feel like they're your family.
We feel
But
like
they're not the
our
ones
family,
that
but
we
they're not
know.
our ow. But they're not our
We
family.
don't know that. It could be our memories that are wrong, not theirs.
It's just feeling like they're not our family right now.
It's just the feeling that's got them all kind of klooked in the head. Yep, that was English.
Gloop glooped in the head.
The
It
fact
just
that
feels
the entire world doesn't know
depresso.
Drema and we do, and the entire world knew of Autor and we didn't, makes me wonder if we're the problem.
That's
It's
my
kind of
purse.
like-
I don't know you.
So
It's
by
kind
the
of
way,
like we swapped places with somebody in a different fucking reality.
Yes, Meteor.
question about this vision.
Hmm.
You've said that that Colfax had a knife above
Yeah.
Drema.
And he was pulling
Yep.
away.
He felt like he was pulling it away.
Okay, so it looks like he's taking it out of her, not stabbing
And
it.
This is a feeling he got. Again, to everyone else there, you just
we
saw
don't know it.
shadowy
It's
figures.
Unless
above.
we
Oh, okay.
share what we were feeling, we don't know. Yeah.
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 The only
And then-
thing That
Yeah,
everybody
I don't
heard.
know
Scared how she was feeling.
how true
but
that
no.
is.
The second we have a minute now while they're grappling with that, Naya's looking at what's in her pocket.
And Phelan, you actually felt extreme concern when you were looking at this dragon. Not fear, you felt concern for the dragon's safety.
I felt concerned for it. She
Yeah.
doesn't like that feeling. She doesn't like it. She doesn't want to feel concerned for the thing that put her in this impossible situation.
Naya is going to dig out whatever's in her pocket and also just kind of keeping the circles in her mind.
Hmm.
Pull out the little piece of paper she has
Okay.
and her calligrapher supplies, and she's gonna sketch out the two circles really quick.
Okay. The thing that you pull out of your pocket appears to be a piece of chalk that has several runes drawn into it. And the moment your hand touches it, you know that this chalk can be used to cast a
Teleportation circle.
teleportation circle,
Yeah.
and it will recover once a day.
Oh.
It's
You
magic
you
talk.
yourself do not know this spell.
Do I know where the circle corresponds to, the two that I know?
You do not.
Okay. And one of them had a bunch of runes, and one of them looked like it was nullified, nulled out.
Yeah, one of them had the rune. It's kind of just a line of nothing, like nil or null, and the other one had the rune of, you know, for better or worse, the infinity symbol. You know.
Of course. Of course. Okay.
Firebutt, do you want to confirm what I typed in chat?
Yeah, he did say that.
Mm.
And Flash, something was said about feeling something slick under
Yeah,
her
Naya
hand.
felt
Yeah,
protective, and she felt like she felt something slick under her hand, and she was trying to cast magic, which translates to Naya was attempting to heal a grievous wound.
yeah. And Midnight, you felt panic seeing that stalactite hanging in the air and the imp above it.
Right.
Yeah, the only thing everybody for sure experienced was when that word was said.
Yeah,
Haru's Delantor.
Naya hasn't told y'all about feeling the wound under Drummer's chest. She hadn't said that.
All you experienced was what you yourself experienced. Everyone else that you saw was a shadowy figure. The moment that you got to look around and get your bearings on the situation, as fleeting as it was, you could see you as you are, but it didn't feel right.
So I'm going to turn around once everything's calmed down and be like, so what did everybody see? I'll start. I found I felt a note in my hand.
You felt saddened by that note.
Very, very sad by the note.
I think we
It-
all just say what we saw.
I don't remember what Phelan saw already.
Naya will notably, for those of us above board, will not mention that she felt
The blood.
the blood. She will mention that she was casting magic and trying to help, but she will not detail that it felt like Drama was possibly dying.
Because I don't think you want to startle her.
So you say Drima's name as you're describing what you saw?
Yeah.
Midnight, behind you, you feel Drima kind of quake as if she's alarmed and scared, hearing people's description of her in this situation.
I shore up my stance and just kind of guard her
Mm.
even more.
We're not
You
going to let
feel
them hurt you.
a little tear and a little wetness on the back of your tunic.
I give her a hug.
she happily accepts it and she gives you one back. And she's holding you so tight, as tight as a little girl can. And just behind you, out of nowhere, walking from beside the bed, you see Good Boy walk up and sit down next to her beside Midnight.
If he appears out of nowhere, my hand would probably come up with an Eldritch Blast ready, but not fire it.
He Good Boy did not appear out of nowhere. He walked from behind the bed, between the bed and the wall, as
He
if he had been
lurks
there
in
the
the
entire time.
shadows.
I still think that would startle.
Go ahead.
High alert.
Seeing as we
Midnight
didn't
as
see him
well.
come up with us yet,
Yep.
and we didn't see him in the tavern.
So you let out an Eldritch Blast.
No, I don't let it out.
Oh,
Like,
you
He
started to fire
readies
one
it.
up.
Yeah.
I ready it. Like, my hand starts to glow like I'm gonna fire it, but then as
Then
soon
you
as
realize
I see
it's Good
him,
Boy.
I
Yep.
just slowly put it down. Like,
And
Midnight is on high alert right now.
You should have
Good
blasted
Boy,
him.
Good Boy
Do not blast, Good Boy.
seems alarmed and scared at the same time, and has a little tear in his eye.
They are so connected.
I motion him to come over to Drema,
He
and then I
he
stand there guarding them both.
Is anyone else getting the feeling that Good Boy is actually Drema's familiar at this point?
Oh, probably.
Yep.
Yes.
Getting parallels to Midnight and Princess here.
That or they're kind of tied in one and the same. Because Drema seems to disappear into Good Boy, and Good Boy tends to disappear into shadows. So,
Mm.
things.
stuff and things.
Fluffy
So
things.
Time for
yeah,
sleep.
yeah. I would say at this point the emotional damage from the day has kind of hit, and then as y'all are standing around and talking and discussing sleep, suddenly there's a knock at the door to the room on the left. Uh, Again, y'all are in 3 rooms. It was never really discussed which room was which, but hearing voices behind the door, you all hear a loud knock at the door.
I get my Eldritch Blast ready.
Naya will answer the door.
Okay. You open the door on the other side. You see Wade and a rather tall and beautiful woman standing next to him. Uh, and she looks upset or angry, and she smacks him in the back of the head and says, "Do it." And then he says, "I'm sorry I ran away. Thank you very much for saving me." And then she looks a little more happy and she says, "I'm sorry. He came, he told me what happened. Thank you very, very much for recovering him. He's been gone for several days and it's not been pleasant. So thank you very, very, very much." She is very thankful, and he is very embarrassed and looks very bashful, but he is apologizing for having ran and thanking you for saving him. And he says, "If there's anything I can do to help you, please let me know."
I guess she wears the pants in the relationship.
Naya's going to kind of not turn her back to them, but kind of turn a little bit to look back at the group and kind of arch her eyebrow. Kind of trying to give an impression of anything we particularly want right now.
Well, I'd like to find out what her name is.
That not quite what I'm going for here. Because Naya sees potential for they've just expressed gratitude thrice in front of someone who considers herself Fae. So
Yep.
even if she doesn't ping Fae, she considers herself Fae. So in her mind,
Extortion is not.
It's not extortion if it's
It's
earned.
not extortion, it's gratitude. It's a bargain. I gave him his
already
life back.
Whatever helps you sleep at night.
You already said you were going to look for something from him back for saving his life.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I gave him his life.
Yep.
It's his turn.
How,
He needs to give me a treat now.
How about being our escort around town tomorrow?
We could use a guide while we're in town. We're new here.
Introductions to important people would be nice.
Yes, we need to
Oh.
speak with Elsbeth tomorrow, among other things.
And sell stuff. And buy stuff.
Okay. I can definitely do that. Then tomorrow, once you wake up, please come down to the docks. I'll be there at my ship.
Okay.
And his wife kind of lifts up and looks quite proud and everything else, and then kind of smacks him on the shoulder, not as hard as that initial, and she says, "Good job." And then he looks kind of ashamed and put in his place, as the way goes. He looks like he has been reamed out there and back again, and he is ready to be out of this situation and back on her good side.
Okay.
I'll look at her and I'll be like, "So I don't believe we've learned your name. We've learned his as he ran off his weight, but hi, I'm Kalina."
Oh, where are my manners? I'm sorry. I'm Alara. I'm this dolt's wife.
Midnight. There's no
Don't
one
mind
behind
him.
me. Don't
I'm gonna
look.
be sleeping on the couch tonight.
There's a slight squeak as
Squeak.
the bird speaks up, and she looks a little alarmed.
Yes, I'm a talking bird. It's fine.
Princess is harmless. Don't worry about it. Hi,
Okay,
I go by
yeah.
Naya.
She holds her hand to her chest and kind of lets out a breath and tries to relax in front of you all. And off to the side, Wade has this little grin along his lip because he's already seen the bird and everything. So, he kind of was all prepared for this. So he's entertained that something caught her off guard.
This is Princess. Midnight's familiar. Midnight speaks to us through Princess. It's normal at this point.
Alara nods her head, and then she looks over at him and says, "What are you snickering at?" And he immediately stops. He's got the straightest face he
I
can
repeat,
have.
someone's sleeping in the doghouse tonight.
Somebody wears the pants in the relationship.
And it ain't him.
Nope.
And then she apologizes and says, "I apologize for catching you all just as you're going to sleep. He told me what happened, and I could not stand to let that go as it was. It just
We
wasn't
were
right."
probably gonna come find you tomorrow.
Oh?
We wanted to come see if he found you.
Oh.
We
Yeah,
were
he did.
concerned that he might not find his way back properly. We're glad
Oh,
to see
boy,
that he
did he.
has.
Boy, did he. I've got so much laundry I'm going to have to do for the next day. Like 3 pairs of pants. And he just kind of blushes and bumps into her and says, "Okay, we need to go now." And she kind of laughs. It's not even a giggle, it's more of just an outright laugh. And she says, "Okay, we will leave you to your night." And she kind of bows her head. She reaches over and pushes his head down and makes him bow too. And
Your initiative is appreciated. Have a great night.
she nods
I'm
her
glad
head
to see you
and,
made it home.
and they make their way away from the door and back downstairs.
Note to self: have Dragon write mini lesson plan on how this woman gets her man to behave.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
Althemia needs to be taught, huh?
Yeah! Yeah, listen to me now! What up?
So the door is now closed. That interesting introduction is over.
Too bad we didn't still have that steamy book for him. Leave him with that steamy romance book.
Oh, I should have hit her with the oh so lewd hand holding. Damn it! I burned it though.
Yep, you burned it.
Yeah, I can't mend that. It's ash.
Hey,
Could have given it to him as a gift and see her look at it and be like, oh.
Oh, they're holding hands without protection in public.
Scandalous.
Oh
Oh
my.
goodness.
Unabashed hand holding.
That book
How
was
dare.
this. That book is going to be the most craziest shit in that. We're gonna get to the end of this campaign. We're gonna ask the people, what was your favorite memory? The book, the lewd hand holding.
The scandalous hand holding book. Without a chaperone, no less.
No, say it ain't so.
It's not the fact that a bunch of kids went to sleep for 10 years and then were handed a book. I know it's the book. It's the torrid
Yes.
romance novel.
The lewd hand holding book.
So spicy.
So spicy. I can't take my eyes off.
I'm wondering how many more spicy books he's going to give us in this campaign.
They're all going to get funnier as we go through the campaign. Next one's going to be hugging.
Outside the windows, you see many windows that have the lights being snuffed as people are putting their candles out for the night. The shops that are around, many of them seem to be 2 stories, with the shopkeepers that apparently live above them down this main road. The night has fallen. You do see people kind of starting to mull out in the streets and heading towards the building you're in, and you start hearing from downstairs, people talking and muttering and sounds of enjoyment while y'all are upstairs, exhausted mentally, emotionally, and physically from that long trek from all the way at Kashi to here.
Let's not forget the mental whiplash half of us went through.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Naya is...
So are our characters just sharing a room? Is that what we're doing?
I mean, we could all bunk
It's
together,
three-
but we're
it's-
across 3 rooms.
There are 3 rooms with 3
I know
beds
we all
each.
shoved into one room.
Yeah, but
just
you
so we can talk.
disperse however you so desire.
Midnights with Drema.
Yeah, Naya was probably going to be either with Drema or with Faye.
I'll stick with Faye.
Kofax is just
where
he does not care very much. It's toasty.
Naya will make sure that whatever room she is in, if they have the adjoining doors, that the adjoining doors open.
Do we have adjoining doors?
Yeah, there is a door between each room, and on each side of this building upstairs, there are 4 rooms that are adjacent. So you have 3 rooms that are assigned to you all. With
Wait,
doors
dumb
in
question.
between
Is
that
this
you can open.
is this thing kind of like our higher level characters' place?
No, we're in an inn.
No, it's a tavern.
Okay. It rung bells in my head for some reason.
So
No, it's not.
you have 3 rooms that are connected with doors, and off to one room there's another door that's connected to the adjacent room that you all can't open because you only have one of the keys.
Right.
So like hotel rooms where they have
I'm gonna
the
make sure
adjoining
that
doors.
that one is not unlocked.
Okay,
I'll
wait,
make
so
sure that one's locked on our end.
Who's on the left and who's on the right?
And there
Naya
are
will
3
be in the
beds.
middle.
The beds are too big to move between the rooms.
Yeah,
but
Naya will be in
y'all
the middle
can
room.
sleep however you decide.
We'll be on the end.
Naya wants to be equidistant between everybody if she can. She's gonna try.
I don't think I was gonna say. I think
Mhm.
as long as Colfax doesn't get the middle room, because I think if he got the middle room, he would be waking everybody up, running back and forth throughout all the rooms.
Possibly.
I would say, why don't Naya, me and Faye take the middle?
And through all of this, and everything else, and Naya knowing what she knows about Drima and having discussed it with others, Drima looks exhausted at the moment. Not
Naya
sleepy,
will
but exhausted.
Naya will cast two things right now.
Hmm.
She will cast heroism on Drema as Drema's getting to sleep to kind of give
Well,
her
Drema doesn't
that.
sleep though.
Well, when she's looking tired, so she might take a power dock.
That's
She might
why
not
I
need
have
to,
4 temp
but
hit points
yeah, heroism, which is over now, by the way, for you. Um,
Do the hit points go away?
yes, they go away when the spell ends.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, it
Weird.
actually increases your max temporarily.
Yep.
Oh, it increases your
It
Oh, I
doesn't
thought it
give
gave
you temp.
temporary.
Yeah, no, it actually increases your max for a short
Well,
bit.
no, it gains temp equal to. That's
Oh,
what
is it? I thought it
yeah,
was the one that increases your max
it's
for a bit.
temp, but because of heroism, how it works, when heroism ends, you lose the temp.
Oh, okay.
That's
Weird.
how that works. So I will cast it on Drema,
Hmm.
so just Drema, and I will also cast Warding Bond between myself and Drema as well,
Okay.
because only heroism concentration, so heroism is fine. That'll last for a minute, and it's just to give her that brief buff of like comfort.
Feeling better.
Yeah.
She does let out a softer breath as she appears to be centering herself and calming down, and she feels a little more bright and
Heroic.
energetic. But she definitely looks like she's got a lot on her mind.
That's the Warding Bond. That'll last for an hour.
Okay. And she closes her eyes. Her breathing doesn't slow down or anything like that, but she does close her eyes. And Good Boy curls up next to her.
Shit. I got characters mixed up. I was about to say FaZe does. No, that's my character on my Saturday campaign that doesn't breathe in her sleep. I was like, wait a minute. Whoopsie.
So before anyone else closes their eyes for sleep or anything, Drema does this time first. Or at least she closes her eyes, I should say.
Yeah.
Which is an unusual sight for y'all, as normally she's the last one to, she's still very much awake as everyone else has fallen asleep since that ruse has been seen through.
Mm-hmm. That she
I-
doesn't really sleep.
I will say, Midnight is not going to sleep tonight. She's going to
Midnight's not
be-
sleeping or Princess isn't sleeping?
Midnight.
Okay.
So you're
So
gonna
you-
deal with
Princess
So you're going,
exhaustion?
yeah, you're going to
Yep.
resist sleeping? Okay.
Yep.
Naya will trance, but she's attempting to use that Warding Bond for the first hour of Drema hopefully getting some kind of rest, or at least resting her eyes,
Okay.
to give her
If
that sense
they-
of security.
If Faye didn't beat the shit out of a wall, I'd say she would fight off sleep. But
You've already fought off a wall. I don't think you have enough energy left to fight off sleep too. You can't
yeah,
punch it. You can't punch sleep. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna
should
curl
try.
up with my blanket
Let me try.
really sadly and try to sleep.
Phelan's gonna cuddle her plushie.
Are you going to use your blanket's ability or not?
The healing or the having the
deep
best sleep?
sleep for, the best sleep ever, but you definitely sleep for 8 hours.
I think I would be wanting to try and use the ability. Yes.
Okay. So, Kalina is out like a light. She is comfortable.
Faye's cuddling the dragonling plushie, and it purrs. So
Yep. And
I
and
am
it helps you
starting to
feel
read
at
the
ease.
My
Midnight
blanket
is looking
hums.
out the window.
Yep. I'm looking anywhere there could be entry.
Okay. Midnight is on high alert.
Yep.
Yep.
Midnight said, "I ain't playing around tonight."
Naya will trance after an hour.
So, Colfax,
Yep.
this Mr. Gentleman is surrounded by these ladies who are going to sleep. So what
He
is
gets the
Colfax
third
going
room
to
by
do?
himself.
I keep forgetting Colfax is the only dude in this movie.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm still conscious.
But he's an
so-
adult. He knows how to handle himself.
He's a good boy.
Colfax is one of the girls. I thought we discussed this already.
Yeah, we did his hair and his nails already.
Yeah. What's up? I'm gonna. Oof. Trying to figure out what my options are.
Could be a potato.
I think he probably
could be
would
a
have
potato.
the third room to himself.
Yeah, in
Yeah.
theory, you could close the door to the third room on your side.
Or leave it open.
Yeah.
But you'd probably sleep in there by yourself.
Yeah, he might just close.
He shares a room with us in the pumpkin.
Yep.
At all
He'll
times.
just
It
he'll
really
just
doesn't matter.
he'll just leave a door open.
Scandalous.
He's fine.
Colfax is the chaperone.
Yeah. He's he's
So-
he's got to keep an eye on all of them. He's the old elf. He's got to keep an eye on everyone.
So
He's-
the group,
He's the distinguished, elderly, unfairly attractive elf. He doesn't need
he's
to deal with a bunch of
400.
effectively
He's
children.
like 400 years old or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, Naya made a point of when she carved the elf to represent you in the pumpkin of making you
Yeah.
extremely beautiful.
He appreciates that.
so the party gets ready for a restless sleep with lots weighing on their mind and their hearts. Phelan is unnerved by the goings on and is very upset at this person that she doesn't know who seems to have major plans. And this is going
Dude,
on.
he could be like the fucking god of this world. She's ready to fucking fight him. She's going to beat his ass. Even if
And-
it costs her something, she is pissed.
Phelan's gonna attack and dethrone God. You've heard it here.
Yeah. I'm declaring
Hey,
it, Phelan.
Don't
Fight
hate
God.
Arthur.
So people start to drift off. Naya, you're in your trance. You're concentrating on your spell and kind of keeping sense of your surroundings. And you kind of start feeling very
Oh, I was muted for that. I just said no.
exhausted,
Don't hurt Arthur.
and that feeling starting to come over you again
Pull to sleep.
that you really don't like. But with
It's-
everything else that's going on today,
Naya
and
will
your
choose
concentration,
not to resist it because she has some words to say to Autor.
and Naya falls asleep, the last one to do it. And strangely enough, a more active dream starts. And that's where we'll end it for today.
Damn it! I wanted to punch
Oh.
Altor!
Well, you have to show up next time for that.
Yep.
I gotta play it by ear though until I move. Tears.
We'll figure it out.
But I
So
want to
thank-
punch Altor. Okay, if I'm not here next session, somebody better have Phelan punch Altor for me.
So thank you all for stopping by again for this 24th session, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
only been like 2 hours. See, I forget these things.
Mhm.
Of In the Demon's Grasp, where our party has finally made it to the town that they've been so desperately needing to. Phelan finally gets to see her long lost adoptive father
Man, it went
And
from
then-
sweet to bittersweet real quick too.
and is
Mhm.
immediately considering that might not be true,
Yep.
and everyone drifts off to sleep. Next week, the dream that they see, but the game that we see is going to be the higher level group.
Oh
Oh,
shit!
so we're swapping.
We are
Oh!
swapping next week.
Damn it! I
Ooh.
still I
Oh.
gotta wait even longer to punch Altor in the face.
You don't know
Yep.
that. You could punch him
Don't
as your
tell
upper level
them
characters.
I'm
It
on
depends
vac-
on what we know.
I'm
We'll
on
find out.
vacation next week.
Man, I don't remember shit about my
Dang it.
Oh, that's true. Oh my god.
Yep.
I do.
Yeah.
Bannock and Mistral are the only ones who
Yep.
completed that check. We're the only ones who know.
There's
Yep.
plenty
Yeah.
of time.
Oh.
So
I
thanks
gotta.
everybody,
Ah.
and hopefully see some people next week for possibly a major recap. But
I
we'll
gotta.
see.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I gotta put the
Definitely a
Edgelord
recap.
McGee. I gotta
Yep.
put the Edgelord McGee in her hot topic jail so I
Hopefully
can.
we get Bannock and Mistral talking at the start there about what the heck was that.
Yep.
Yep.
Bannock and Mistral awoke from the dream with full
We went up
memory
to
of
the
it, while
lab,
everyone else
yeah.
kind of
Mm-hmm.
stayed asleep, mumbling and experiencing what they experienced.
Yep.
So
Yes,
hopefully
sir.
see some
This
people.
is my character with the blink dog. Fuck yeah!
And I have my bunny.
Blink
Yes,
dog.
all the
And I get
pets.
to and I get to yell, what do you mean you don't see it?
Yeah, and Cole gets all of his chickens and all of his
Yeah.
shrubs. It's all the pets next time. It's gonna be great.
And I get to yell at Cole a lot.
Yep.
Next
Mhm.
Wait,
week
is there any
pet therapy.
difference?
So hopefully get to see people next week and find out more of what goes on in the Demon's Grasp.
Yep.
So bye bye
Yep.
Bye,
everybody.
stream.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Everybody,
Hi, everyone.
love y'all.